My accelerated pace is holding. It's looking less like a fluke and more like a pattern. Let's get into page 5. Dialogue with dragons. I've been noticing that the idea of dinosaurs with the ability to vocalize is floating in the creative ether these days. I see no downside. As far as I'm concerned, the more talking dinosaurs, the better. In Dead Gods, some natural dinosaurs will have the ability to mimic sounds. But I also have a secret ingredient: demonic possession. Specifically, disembodied nephilim spirits inhabiting the bodies of vocalizing animals. This means that I get to go full Smog. I love reading stories that include talking dragons, and it turns out they're a ton of fun to write as well. Being cornered by an apex predator is bad enough. Being cornered by an apex predator that can also taunt you is a nightmare. There's a consistent request that I've been getting in the comments on every other video since the beginning of this project. People have been asking for an art tutorial, explaining in detail how I make these images. Something like a step-by-step guide. It's a humbling request, and I figured I should finally address it. With all my heart, no. I'm not trying to hide any trade secrets. You can watch my entire process from beginning to end 100 times over in this series. The biggest reason that I'm not in a rush to create a step-by-step tutorial is that I'm really not doing anything special. Believe me. On a spectrum from artist to craftsman, I consider myself to be deep into the craftsman territory, meaning that I'm relying heavily on the fundamentals, and that's about it. Simple techniques repeated over and over and over again. I've been blessed to know some true artists over the years. They're venturing into the outer wilds, inventing techniques and pushing the limits in ways that really look like magic to me. I use the old-fashioned, tried-and-true techniques that come out of the box. If you found a copy of the Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams, Andrew Loomis books, and maybe the Proco Anatomy course, you'd have the same tools in your toolbox. See, to me, the art itself isn't the important part. The art I love, and that I love to make, is the delivery mechanism for story. That's what's important to me. Everything I practice is bent towards getting better and better at conveying narrative. In my case, that translates to a focus on clarity and expression. But rather than just leaving this on a long no to the request for a tutorial, let me see if I can address the question behind the question, which is, what can I do to improve? I've been reviewing portfolios for the last 2 decades, and this is the most important advice I can pass on to anyone that's trying to fight for it, regardless of what stage they're at. Now keep in mind, out of 1,000 people, this will only help about 5 of them, but it's worth it for them. Hey you 5. Do you know what will propel you further than any tutorial I, or anyone else, can make? If you're part of the 5, there's a good chance you already know what I'm going to say. Work through it. Some people hear work and think that means brute force drawing, like drawing for at least 3 hours every day or something like that. If you're up for it, go for it. When I say work, I mean when you find an obstacle, you work through it. You don't avoid it, you don't hide it, you don't fake it. This is where the magic ingredient, confidence, comes from. Let's say you have an idea for an image, but it requires you to draw a horse, and you don't usually draw horses. Don't avoid it, don't hide it, don't fake it. Download horse references, buy a toy horse, download a horse model. Start studying it, but don't just copy. Break it down, simplify it, own it. As an artist, you have the opportunity to appreciate creation in a profound way. Become hungry to know more. This is why I spend time diagramming the anatomy for every dinosaur I've drawn in Dead Gods. I want to know where all the visible muscle groups are, and I want to simplify them into basic shapes that I can wrap my head around. Because of this, I can use a 3D model of a T-Rex, but rather than trace it, I can draw over it, because I've taken some time to understand it better. This can apply to anything: figure drawing, drapery, perspective, color theory, composition. Whatever the obstacle, pull out your sword and conquer it. Do this and you'll start drawing with more and more confidence. You'll start coming up with your own shorthands, which is what style really is. Unfortunately, no tutorial can do this for you. But if you're feeling motivated, I can suggest a great exercise. Draw a comic. Seriously, creating even a 1-page sequential story will force you to draw things outside of your comfort zone. Storytelling puts demands on us that drawing one-off illustrations doesn't. The story may require you to put your camera at an odd angle. It may necessitate you draw a challenging expression that you've never tried to draw before. It will absolutely mean drawing characters in poses you've never drawn from reference. Try it out. And when the inevitable obstacles get in your way, work through them. And there we have it, page 5. I keep saying it because it's true. I'm surprised by my current pace. I think that between the 3D models I commissioned and the new inking approach, I've almost doubled my output. If this pace continues, in 3 weeks I'll be finishing off this episode. Now for the character design. This time, to start off, I was still feeling rusty, so I did some more intentional warm-up drawing. Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. You're never too old for them. With these, I'm just trying to build up that familiarity that leads to confidence. One of my lifelong artistic goals is to be able to say more with less, and the only way to do that is to study. My dragon patrons voted, and for the first time ever, it was a tie. Since I'm the one that will be drawing her, and I had an idea for the context I wanted to put her in, I broke the tie in favor of Jessica Rabbit. In a previous video, I designed Jubal Cain, creator of musical instruments. With centuries of experience, his musical abilities surpassed anything we've ever heard. However, his seemingly magical abilities attracted the attention of the Watchers, who offered him the opportunity to ascend to even higher heights through secret knowledge, in exchange for his allegiance. I picture the antediluvian Jessica Rabbit as part of Jubal Cain's inner circle. Where Jubal uses his instruments, she uses her voice. The original character's lounge singer dress is iconic, but I wanted to mix things up a bit. There are no pre-flood visual references to pull from, so I'm leaning on ancient post-diluvian sources for inspiration. In this case, her vest is based on a Minoan open-front design. Her skirt is made from massive red feathers. It was another opportunity to let the setting guide me. They visually connect her to Jubal and reinforce the Songbird title I'm using, and their massive scale is a reminder of what kinds of creatures are out there. The Songbird was a talented singer, able to use her voice to move people deeply. Jubal saw potential in her and has been passing on the dark knowledge he had been given. Now her songs are able to enchant people, to manipulate them, to control them. But the Watcher's secrets come with a cost. Jessica's hair typically falls over half of her face. Here, she wears a metal half mask to obscure the side of her face that's been affected by the dark spells she sings. During the final stages, I adjusted her colors overall, giving her a subtle, sickly hue to show more of the effects that life in Jubal's inner court is having on her. And there we have it, Jessica Rabbit, Jubal Cain's Songbird, one of many talented performers seduced by the power of the dark arts. Next week, I'll be starting a new series of character redesigns and hopefully finishing off page 6. Thanks for watching.